You're good?
I'm sick right now.
Okay. Yes. Good morning. It's wonderful to see all of you here this morning, our first gathering of the new year. My name is Don Rakow, and I'm pleased to be your celebration associate this morning. May we gather today to nurture our connections, seek inspiration, and embrace change. Practicing resistance is our theme for January. What directions do you seek to resist in the coming year? And what might you create to bring in light? We have many activities this week. Please read the announcements in your order of service or check the sanctuary screens to learn more. If you are new or visiting for the first time, I invite you to stop by the welcome table in the parlor after the service. That is located through those doors. This is where we typically have coffee, snacks, and conversation after the service. Now, in the spirit of intentionally gathering in community, please take a moment to switch off your cell phones and to silent them. Before we light our chalice, let's take a moment to greet those around us. Today's chalice will be lit by Sam Weeks. Please join me in saying the chalice lighting words. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action.
No, 2026 perhaps won't be your best year yet. Nor will it be the worst. You see, a year is a mosaic of absolutely everything. Joy, fear, heartache, loss, beauty, pain, love, failure, learning, friendship, misery, exhilaration. Each day, each moment even, is a tiny shard of glass in this beautiful and confusing creation. 2026, like all the years before, will be another mosaic to add to your wall of art. A wall that shows the life that you are continuously gifted. A wall that shows that you are human. A wall of survival. I wish you many broken pieces of glass this year, friends, because this is living. And before you march into another year filled with everything, pause to look back at the work that you've created thus far, because it's quite something. You are quite something. Now on we go, my friends. Onwards, we very much go. I'm going to invite you to rise and join me in Keep On Moving Forward. It's our opening hymn, and you can find the words up on the screens behind me. I have some friends that are going to come on up and grab baskets, yes, for our Side with Love collection, and they'll be bringing those around as we sing. So I invite you to rise and embody your spirit. I can. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. friends. It's such a delight to be here with you this morning. This is the part of the service where I get to invite up anyone who is young or feeling young at heart to come on forward and join me for a time for wonder. My friends. Come on up, don't be shy. You want to open it today? You do? Have you opened it recently? I haven't. I feel like I've missed the last couple. You opened it last year? I mean, I think that's true of everyone at this point, that everyone opened it last year, since this is our first Sunday of the new year.
I haven't opened it this year.
I haven't opened it in a really, really long time.
All right.
I haven't opened it since
I opened it once last. I haven't opened it since.
I didn't open it.
All right. Rua, you are sitting so quietly with your hand raised, and I know you hurt your thumb. So you want to open up the Wonder Box today? It's like a little sorry you got your thumb slammed in the door. Can you pick those up and show everyone? What'd you find? A potato! Anyone want to touch the potato? Yeah. Oh, all right. And then what's that? An egg. So it is a real egg, and it's raw. So I'm just going to hold it in my hand here, because what would happen, yeah, Jester, actually, you can hold it. I trust Jester to hold the raw egg. What would happen if we dropped it up here? It would break, and what's inside? We'd have to get a new rug, maybe. What's inside of it? Yolk and like squishy, right, liquid. Yeah. So, friends, our theme for this month is practicing resistance, and these three things have something to do with that theme. And I'm going to tell you a story about what these have to do with our theme of practicing resistance. You ready? All right, so there was a kid named Max. And Max came home from after school one day, and they had been having a really hard time. Like a really hard time. And they were sitting at the table with their dad, and they were talking about what a hard time they had had, right? Math class was really rough, and there was this totally unfair pop quiz that they had definitely failed. There was a kid on the bus who was teasing them about what they were wearing and just would not let it go. And as they're sitting there at the table talking about this, they can hear the news in the background, and it is talking about everything that was going on in the world that was also unfair. And Max grabbed the remote, and he turned the TV off, and he was just like, ugh. He put his head down on the table. Have any of you ever felt that way? Yeah, where you just want to like put your head down on the table because everything feels really hard. And his dad hadn't said anything to that point. And he just stood up, and he went into the kitchen, and he got 3 pots. And he filled them with water, and he put them on the stove. And he turned the burners all the way up. And Max looked at his dad, and he was like, it's a little early for dinner, isn't it? All right? Max's dad was like, all right, just wait. And he grabbed an egg, and he put the egg into one of the pots. And he grabbed the potato. Can I have the potato back? Potato. Great. And he put the potato into another pot. And then what was my third thing? Where'd it go? The tea bag, right? I know. Could I have it back? And he grabbed the tea bag. Woo! Oh, hey! I caught that. That was amazing. And he put it into the third pot. And then 20 minutes passed. Can I have 2 people? Allie, will you stand up over here? Ready? Can you stand up over here, friend? Can you grab this side? Allie, can you grab this side? All right. Can you hold it really high above your head? Allie, can you help them? And we're going to shake it because 20 minutes is going to pass. Ready? Here we go. 20 minutes is passing. It's passing. Time is passing. Right. 20 minutes is passing. Okay. 20 minutes have passed. Go ahead and drop it. Right. Then his dad, he takes the potato out of the water. And he says, what do you notice, friends? What do you notice about it?
It's like wrinkly.
It's wrinkly. How else does it feel?
It feels cooked, and there's
You can pass it around. Try not to make a mess with it. All right, I did. I didn't want to make people wait 20 minutes this morning. It seemed a little unfair to them. The service would run really long, and people would start looking at me like this. Yeah, what happens when you squish it just a little bit?
It's squishy.
It's a little squishy.
Like a potato.
Right. So the dad gave Max this, and he's like, what do you notice? And Max is like, this is squishy. And his dad took the egg. Oh, and what happened to the egg?
It's hard boiled.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It got what?
Hard boiled.
It got kind of hard inside, right? And he took that tea bag, and he put it into the hot water. and he invited Max to sniff. Sniffs? Does it smell like? Right? Yeah, Allie, will you hold this and hold it over there so people over there can sniff? And so Max looks at their dad, and they're like, okay, Dad, you can cook. Great, right? Good job. And then his dad says, I'm going to teach you a lesson that my mom taught to me, right? He's like, so all three of these things, they went through the same adversity, right? They all went into the boiling water. But what happened when they went into the boiling water was different, right? The potato went in hard, right? It went in unyielding. And what happened when it went into the water? It got soft and squishy, right? The egg went in, and it had this protective coating, but on the inside, it was all squishy and liquidy, and it came out hard, right? But the tea, when the tea went into the water, it changed the water itself, right? Some people might say it changed it for the better, right? It changed it with its aroma, right? With its flavor, with its color even, right? So when we face adversity, we have a choice, right? We can be like the potato, and we can get all soft and squishy. Or we can be like the egg, and we can get hard, right? Or we can take that hardship, and we can work to be the tea, and to change the world for the better. And part of practicing resistance, right, is making a choice. And this is true for all of us, right? How do we react to those hard times? Which one of these are we? Friends, which one do you want to be? The tea? I'm the potato. You know, and I want to say to you, friends, like, sometimes it's okay to react with softness, right? And sometimes it's okay to react with strength. But for the most part, for me, I also want to be the tea. And I want to do my best to change the world around me for the better. Friends, I haven't been here since you've done this, and I'm so excited. But I hear that you have a lantern now. Yeah. And that you take some of the flame up to your classroom. How does this work? You want to show me? I haven't gotten to do this yet. Okay. Do I transfer the flame? Is it me? Okay. Usually Madeline does it. Okay, I'll do it. Walter, do you want to light the flame? Here, stand up. Can you do it? Either way. All right, while our young people are lighting the flame, if you are a parent or caregiver who is not signed your child in for religious exploration, please meet Madeline in the parlor, and I'm going to invite everyone else to sing our children on their way. You got this? Never coming back.
Hello, everyone. I am here today on the first Sunday of the month to share our joys and sorrows. Because it's the first Sunday, I'm also going to explain to you how you can tell us about a joy, sorrow, or appreciation that you'd like to share with us. There are two different ways that your joy or sorrow or appreciation can be submitted for inclusion on Sunday. You can send notices by our email, joysandsorrows@uuithaca.org, by 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, or fill out one of the green cards in this basket before the service. When considering what you might say in your joys and sorrows, please note that we are live streamed and available to the public on our YouTube channel. Okay, so in the spirit of reverence, love, and care, we take time now to bear witness to some of the joys and sorrows of our community and to share those events that call for our prayers and support, our praise and celebration. So I have an appreciation and joy from the Babies First team, who would like to thank Myra Covery and Cynthia Riggin for donating the proceeds of their beautiful cello and harp recital that occurred here on Sunday, December 29th, to the Babies First program. It felt so good. They shared that it felt so good to be noticed and appreciated, and it was also an extraordinary evening of beautiful music. So thank you for that. And also I wanted to share, in case you missed reading our newsletters because you were off traveling during this season, an appreciation that Michelle Waffner wrote in our newsletter about every person. Thank you to every person who helped create our beautiful Christmas Eve service at Sage Chapel. It was really gorgeous, and it does take quite a village to make that happen. Okay, and I wanted to give in a little appreciation, partly because my teenage son will laugh at this. I am appreciating social media. And wanted to share that I've been getting a lot of joy from watching social media's presentation of the monks who are walking from Texas to Washington, D.C. I'm seeing that some people may not know about this. So if you're new to social media, check it out. You can just write monks walking from Texas to D.C., and it's all about peace. And it's been lovely listening to the words that people have and their reactions to watching these people walk for peace. For those we are holding in our thoughts, in our hearts, and perhaps in our prayers, into the community, into this space of healing and hope, let us call these names out loud or speak them in our hearts right now. We extend loving kindness to all in our world, and let us not forget to extend loving kindness to ourselves. Today, tomorrow, and beyond, let our hands be outstretched in kindness, and let us keep showing up in our lives and each other with an open heart, no matter what. Love and courage to us all. Blessed be, and amen.
As the year begins and we are once again submerged in the seasonal darkness that we know so well, we have reason to think back upon the year that was, if only because it has so recently fled. We think back to friends that we have made, the sorrow we have endured, the love we have found, the loneliness we have survived. We think back to the blessings of being forgiven and the gift we offered to ourselves when we forgave. We think back to those who listened to us in our time of need and the times that we could have listened more. We think back to the things we traded our time for and to what we may have overlooked in the process. We think back to the times we were afraid and uncertain and we trudged ahead anyway. We think back to the times that we were compassionate when we could have been cold. In this season of darkness and night, may we see more clearly. Against the backdrop of our living is the true light of our lives, the love we give to others, and the peace we nurture in ourselves. I invite you to follow the sound of the singing bowl into a time of silence.
children of our children, keep the circle whole.
It is with delight in my heart that I share with all of you this opportunity to welcome new members into this Unitarian Universalist community. Ours is a community of transformation and pluralism, and that includes with our membership. As we continue to grow and change, we will have people come and go. We will have babies born into this community and members die. We will have members join our community at all stages of life. Together we journey toward wholeness, the light of our chalice, the shared symbol of our faith, illuminating our path, bringing warmth, joy, and a sense of wonder to our collective journey. Today we celebrate and welcome the following individuals to our community. If you are here in person with us today, would you please come forward and join me now? Stu Fegley, Barbara Lang, Lindsay Lyman, and David Panetta. You can come on up over here. I'm going to invite you onto this side of me with the microphone. All right, I now invite the community, those of you who are here in the sanctuary and those who are watching at home, to join us in affirming our commitment to one another. So you're going to find words on the screen behind me, and these words are going to start with just our new members. So friends, whenever you're ready.
We enter this faith with hope and possibility in our hearts, pledging to participate in and support the ministries of this congregation. We covenant to remain true to the spirit of love that flows through this congregation and guides us. We seek your welcome as we join you in this faith.
All right, it's our turn. You ready? Here we go. We welcome you as once we were welcomed ourselves. We seek to be open and inclusive, respecting your inherent dignity, your ideas and your vision, in times when it is easy and in times when it is difficult. We seek to be supportive, not only when you reach out in courage to us, but also when you need us to reach out to you. In return, we ask that you recognize our humanity. We will not always live up to our ideals, and when we fall short, we invite you to stay in relationship with us and help us more fully bring alive the spirit of love. We welcome you as an equal member of this congregation, of this faith, and of our shared spiritual journey. And now we're all going to speak these final words together. As we continue to live into our covenant with one another, we do so with joy, friendship, and hope in our hearts. May we create connections, find inspiration, and engage the world together. With joy in our hearts, we recognize, lift up, and bless each new member. We have a small gift for each of you, hence the flowers today. A rose, which symbolizes the beauty that is joining in community together, the growth that you bring, enriching us with your many gifts. So please join me in appreciation for these wonderful people who have chosen to join the First Unitarian Society of Ithaca. Friends, here you are welcome. Here you belong.
welcome new members. Each week, we take an offering to sustain the important ministries and programs of this congregation and its presence in Ithaca and beyond. Giving to the plate is important. It is a symbol of our gratitude for this service and our ongoing commitment to support the work of this church. For those watching remotely, please follow the instructions on the screen. For those attending in person, our ushers will now pass the plate.
I'm trying to tell you something about my life. Maybe give me insight between black and white. And the best thing you've ever done for me is to help me take my life less seriously. It's only life after all. Yeah. Well, darkness has a hunger that's insatiable. And lightness has a call that's hard to hear. I wrap my fear around me like a blanket. I sail my ship of safety till I sink it. I'm falling on your shores. I went to the doctor. I went to the mountains. I looked to the children. I drank from the fountains. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line. Unless I seek my source, closer I am to find. Closer I am to find. I went to see the doctor of philosophy with a poster Rasputin and a beard down to his knee. He never did marry or see a B-grade movie. He graded my performance. He said he could see through me. I spent 4 years prostrate to the higher mind. Got my paper and I was free. I went to the doctor. I went to the mountains. I looked to the children. I drank from the fountains. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line. And the less I seek my source, closer I am to find. Closer I am to I stopped by the bar at 3 a.m. to seek solace in a bottle or possibly a friend. I woke up with a headache like my head against the board, twice as cloudy as I'd been the night before, and I went in seeking clarity. I went to the doctor. I went to the mountains. I looked to the children. I drank from the fountains. Yeah, we go to the doctor. We go to the mountains. We look to the children. We drank from the fountain. Yeah, we go to the Bible. We go through the workout. We read upon revival. We stand up for the lookout. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line. And the less I seek my source, closer I am to find. Closer I am to find. Closer I am to find.
join me in reciting the offertory words. May these gifts bring about connection, inspiration, and engagement within these walls and beyond.
As we enter into this new year, full of possibility, and yet also bringing with it the weight of all that the past year has wrought, let us take a moment and just look around at the faces in this room and appreciate the joy and comfort that being in community brings to us. "2025 was a year like no other," right? A year where so many of our UU values were blatantly under attack. A year where words like equity and inclusion became weaponized. A year full of changes. An unknown author wrote, "Change is never painful. Only resistance to change is painful." And I can imagine this quote raising some hackles, because we have to resist these changes. That's the point, right? As a people who believe in justice and equity, you could even say it is our moral imperative to do so. But that's not what this quote is saying. It's reminding us that change happens. In fact, as Heraclitus wrote long ago, the only constant is change. Well, that and dishes and laundry. No, this quote is reminding us that it is in the denial of the truth that change has already happened where we feel that pain. Because what we can't change is what has already occurred. We have to accept it and move forward within the reality in which we currently live. In the musical Hadestown, they give a toast to the world we dream about and the one we live in now. This world that we are currently living in, the one that we're living in now, it seems to have less and less in common with the world that I have been dreaming about. This world where just as the new year has started, the government of this country has captured the leader of another nation to extradite them by force to face charges in a country that they're not even citizens of. And let's be honest, if this was really about narcotics or human rights violations and not politics and oil, this wouldn't be the only country targeted, right? This world in which mass deportation has been publicly celebrated by those who claim to adhere to the Christian faith, a faith whose sacred text is filled with words reminding us to welcome the stranger, the foreigner, the immigrant. Just one example is in Hebrews 13:2, where it reads, "Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so some have entertained angels without knowing it." This world of continued attacks on reproductive rights, anti-trans legislation, denial of climate science, and draconian cuts to programs that aid the poor and further science and prosperity. A world that seems intent on lifting up voices of hate and drowning out those of love. How can we possibly accept these changes? Isn't that even more painful? But acceptance isn't capitulation. And just because we are acknowledging the truth of what has happened doesn't mean that we can't fight for future change. Change that can begin to shift us towards that world that we dream about. We as UUs are given the task of both embracing and fighting for change. In college, I took a class called Movement for the Opera Singer. And as part of that class, we read essays from Anne Bogart's A Director Prepares. And one of these essays was titled Violence. In it, she wrote these words: Art is violent. To be decisive is violent. Antonin Artaud defined cruelty as unrelenting decisiveness, diligence, strictness. To place a chair at a particular angle on the stage destroys every other possible choice, every other option. When an actor achieves a spontaneous, intuitive, or passionate moment in rehearsal, the director utters the fateful words, "Keep it," eliminating all other possible solutions. And at the time, I was so mad about this essay. I felt like using the word violence to describe making a choice in a theatrical production was belittling the very real violence that people experience in the world every day. And yet, when we make a choice, we can't go back and unmake it. When words fall from our lips, we can't take them back. When we cast a ballot, we can't uncast it, whatever the result ends up being. We can make different choices in the future, but that choice, that moment, has destroyed all other possibilities. And this is really what that quote is getting at. Change is never painful. Only resistance to change is painful. Because we can't fight against something that's already happened, but we can acknowledge and accept it and practice resistance by moving forward. In many ways, we see this play out here in our UU communities, right? Change creates tension, a tension between clinging to what was and accepting what is. But within that is also opening ourselves up to the possibility of what can be. Natalie Maxwell Fenimore wrote, "Shirley Chisholm, when asked why she, a Black woman, was running for president, they said to her, 'You don't have a chance. Why are you doing this?' And she responded, 'Because I am in love with the America that does not yet exist.'" And that's how Unitarian Universalism is also. I'm in love with the Unitarian Universalism that does not yet exist. But I have to hold both the love for that thing and the love for the reality that is. I don't think it will exist in the time of my children, but I cannot deny my love for it. Wanting to be there in that struggle, that is why I am fighting. In my time here in this congregation, there have been lots of changes, right? Some big and some small. We've had numerous changes in staffing, structure, and leadership. We had the year of contemplation and discussion about, and then the vote on the 8th principle. And that was at times contentious, right? We had the shift at the national level in the UUA bylaws from our principles and sources to a new set of values. And this was also challenging in its own way. Past UUA President, Reverend Susan Frederick Gray said, "We know from these last several years of challenge and loss, and creativity and possibility during these transitional times. In liminal times, there's always a risk that fear and anxiety will dominate and lead people to cling more tightly to what has been. In times of stress and anxiety, of fear and uncertainty, it's only natural for us to cling to the familiar, to want to resist changes that we feel like we have any control over, because there is just so much that is outside of our control, right? One of the changes in this community that has brought me joy is the increase in children and families here. It's beautiful, and it's imperative to the longevity and health of our faith that we attract and retain families, children, and youth. And it's noisy, right? I really encourage you, if you have challenges with hearing, or if you're just like me and you're very auditorially distracted, sit over here, friends, right? It's gonna give you a little bit of distance, yeah. Often, children are chaotic and messy. I have 2 at home, and my house is never clean. Like, you think I'm joking? It's actually true, right? And based on research, because we are a people who believe in science and reason, right? That hasn't changed regardless of principles or values. Based on research, we have changed the way that we welcome families into our communities. Current understandings of how religious communities thrive and grow show us that true multi-generational worship and programming is the most effective way to meet that objective, right? This is why we welcome children into the first part of our service every Sunday instead of immediately sending them upstairs. This is why we have one Sunday a month where the children and youth are invited to stay for the entire service, and the service is planned knowing that it will be a multi-generational audience. And I want to lift up that these can be the most challenging services that we offer, right? The children are often fidgety and bored, despite best efforts to make these services pedagogically appropriate, to involve the kids in the service and help them engage kinesthetically and with opportunities to move or activities and rituals. On the flip side, many adults have expressed that they feel like these messages aren't intellectual enough. Creating a multi-generational service that is meaningful for everyone in the room can feel daunting and honestly, sometimes impossible. And it feels extra challenging when people just don't show up, right? Making the additional work feel pointless and unappreciated. Now, these changes were made well before my time here, right? And they were made because of that research and what it's telling us. But I know because of hearing from many congregants that some people are still struggling with these changes, right? Remember though, it's not the changes themselves, but the resistance to these changes that is painful, right? And I acknowledge that very real tension that we are all feeling in trying to provide for the needs of a community made up of individuals who are all working together but are come here looking for different things. So even when I'm telling a story to the children, I'm also working to try to make sure that my message is meaningful to those of you that have been here since Jack Taylor's time, right? The story about the potato and the egg and the tea, that was for all of you, not just the kids who are sitting up here with me. Reverend Douglas in Binghamton, where I'm doing my ministerial internship this year, he told me he felt fortunate that when he started his time with that congregation, they already knew that they weren't showing up to hear him blather on, his words, not mine, he is a fantastic preacher, but to be together. We show up here for one another. We show up to celebrate new members, to learn and grow together, to be challenged and changed. We show up because what is offered here is a faith based on the belief in the worth and dignity of every person centered in love. David Riccio wrote, "What makes us human beings so uniquely wonderful in the puzzling universe is that we never give up on love. Against all odds, with no guarantees of being loved in return, out of the hate and hurt so often handed to us, in the face of sadness and suffering history has let us see, we go on loving." What deep respect we deserve for this capacity of ours to make love out of anything and to let it last. We never give up on love. That's what I want to take with me into this new year. That I can accept the changes, but I will never give up on love. I will not capitulate to tyranny. I will not stop working on behalf of this community to support changes that serve all of us. I will not give up on you. I will not give up on the world. Octavia Butler wrote, "All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change. Change is God." God is change, and God is love. And may we never give up fighting for both. Friends, I invite you to rise and join me in our closing hymn, One More Step. You can find the lyrics on the screens behind me. If you are who you were, and if the person sitting next to you is who he or she or they were, if none of us has changed since the day we came in here, we have failed. The purpose of this community, of any church, temple, zendo, mosque, is to help its people grow. We do this through encounters with the unknown, in ourselves, in one another, in the other, whoever or whatever that might mean to you, however hard that might be, because these encounters have many gifts to offer to us. So may you go forth from here this morning, not who you were, but who you could be. And so may we all.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service has ended. Let our true service now begin.
We're going to finish up with a new piece from the virtual hymnal, Sing Out Love. It's pretty easy, but Laura and I are going to sing it through once for you, and then we're going to invite you to join us.
Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now, love mercy now, go humbly now.
Sing with us, friends.
Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now, love mercy now, go humbly now. You need not complete the work, but you must not abandon it. You need not complete the work, but you must not abandon it. Do justly now, love mercy now, go humbly now. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now, love mercy now, go humbly now. Do justly now, love mercy now, go humbly now.
Go in peace.